Alright, so I must confess that most of my videos are highly influenced by Traversing Media. So you might want to go ahead and check out his channel. He's amazing. Trust me, you want to do that. Alright, so today we're going to be looking at functions from the title, and I still have these. So this is my second time recording this video because someone emailed me and I didn't want it whatever to be showing, just distraction. So again, we're going to be doing functions. So functions are block of codes that you can use throughout your program over and over. So this is something important in pretty much every programming language. So let's get straight into it. So to create a function, you just want to use the keyword function, and then you give the function a name. So let's say this is my function, and your braces, your parentheses, I should say, in your curly braces. And for this here, what we're going to do is we're just going to echo something, and this is basically what the function will do. To run the function, however, we have to give the function name, pretty much like every programming language that you'll see out there. So you just give the function name, reload, and it should echo something. And for the second function, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a function that gives a new line. So what will happen here is that it will just break to the next line, and we're just going to use a PHP tag. So we're just going to echo, I don't know what the hell that was. We're just going to echo a PHP break tag. We're going to say BR, and this should break to a new line. So let's go ahead and just write this function here, and that should break to a new line each time we want to get a new line in here. So the second function that we're going to look at is passing values in as parameters. So we're going to pass some parameters in this function. So what we're going to do is we're just going to say name function. So what this function will do is we'll pass a variable called name, and then we're going to echo it out to the screen. So we're going to say echo, we're going to echo, hi, my name is name. So we're just going to concatenate this thing here. So let me just break it here, concatenate. I'm going to give it a space as well here. So we're going to say name, concatenate here, and just put a full stop. I think that will work. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to call our function, which is name function, and now we're going to pass a value to it. So my name is Frashians, and here we're going to run this function, and we come here and reload. What we'll see here, hi, my name is Frashians, from passing the value here. Alright, so now, and you can see that the new line is working. So we're going to go ahead and add our new line again, our new line function. And for next function, what we're going to look at is assigning the value. So we're assigning default values to the name. Instead of typing the name here, we're going to assign default values to the name. So we're just going to say function again, keyword for doing the function, and we're going to call it name function. That will work again. And for this function, we're going to have this name, and now we're going to assign the name of the function, which is Frashians, and we open our curly braces, and then we're going to echo. And just grab this again. I'm just going to copy this because I don't want to type it over. And here, what we're just going to do is just going to call the function again. It's a name function. This time we're not going to pass any parameter, any anything in here. We're not going to pass anything in there, because what it will do is automatically take the value here. But if I remember correctly, it will also change it. No, it did not. Can I redeclare name function? Alright, my bad. I may wanna change the name of this function here to my name function. My name function, and then this should work. As you can see here, my name is Trash Items, so it takes a default value. And if I remember correctly, if we should put something else in here, it should override it. See, yeah, it did. So it will override it if you put another value. But you can see you can add your own default values in there as you'd like. Normally, I think they'll just put probably variable or whatever in there to just hold it place. So for our next function, we're just going to look at some simple operations. So let's say we have a function that we're just going to add some numbers or multiply something. So we're going to look at let's say function, and this function is going to do some addition, and this function will add a value. So we're just going to have value 1 and value 2. So these are the values that will be added. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use keyword return, and then we're going to return value 1 plus value 2. So this is the keyword that we're going to use for this one. And for this, if we should go ahead and say what's that, addition, and pass in a value like 7 and 9 or 3. I'll go for 3. So if we should add in a value like this and expect it to run, what will happen is nothing, as you can see here, because what it's doing here is that it's returning. It's not really echoing out anything. What it's doing is just returning. So what we have to do is go ahead and echo this thing out to the screen for it to run properly. So now you can see we have our 10, but I forgot to put the new line function here. So let's put our new line here. So that's why we made it. And now you'll see we get a value here, 10. So let's not forget the new line again. So for the second function, what we're going to do is we're going to look at passing by reference, which I pretty much never use, like literally, but it's good to look at, something good to know. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at let's say create a function that add number. So what this function will do, it will take a num or number, whatever, and then what we're going to do is, and we all know the syntactic sugar, num plus equal to, let's say, 7. Yep. And what we're going to do also is we're going to copy this function here, and we're just going to paste it down here as well. Same function. Well, can't do the same function. I'm just going to give the name, and we're just gonna give num. Should I give it a value here? No, I'm not gonna give it no value. Not yet. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pass this one by reference. To do the reference, use ampersand symbol. So we're just going to use the ampersand symbol there, and further on what we're going to do is then we're just going to make a variable now. So let's say number the number is equal to something like I don't know, 21. So this is what will happen, and then we're going to call our function. So our add num function, we're going to see what this does when we call this with the number here, and what we're going to do is we're going to echo the value here, and we're going to just put the number in here as well. This number, my number, it's not my number, it's, let's say it again, number, number, yes. And then we're going to break the line here. So that's pretty much what we're going to do for this one. And for the add num with a v, we're going to add the same number in here, and then what we're going to do is to echo the value. So I'm just going to copy this thing, or I don't know if I should say value or ref, because it's pretty much what we're passing to the second one. But let's see what happens when we go ahead and run this thing here, and we have an error. Where do we have this error? Line 38. Oh, I forgot to put the semicolon here. And you can see here we have 21 and 28. So what happens when you pass it by value is that it did not change, but what happens when you pass it by the reference, you can see here that it add the 7 to it. So 21 plus 7 is 28. So that's pretty much what happened to it there. I'm going to look at one last thing here, and you can also, you realize that here, where was it? We just return the value here. But what we can do also, let's say we write a function called return. Can we do that? Return num. Let's put return number so we don't have any conflict, because that's a keyword. Let's say return number, and we go ahead and pass like a sum. So let's say we get in the sum of 3 plus 7. So what this can do here is we can now return the value here. So we can now return sum instead of just returning. But I would probably do the first method because it's much quicker. This just takes up too much lines, unnecessary lines. So I probably would not do this. I'm going to put the new line here, the new line function here. So I'd probably use the first method, but I'm just showing you that this can work as well. So this was return number. So if we should do this, what it will do now is that it will return the sum of that right there, which is 10, and you can see it does work. So this is pretty much it for this video. If you like the video, then just go ahead and hit that like button. If you like to share this video, you can also share with friends. Subscribe, hit that post notification bell so that you never miss a post.